Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Another reminder to you, maybe you haven't noticed it, but Christ did not walk with everyone. Okay, let me repeat this. It's very important. Christ did not walk with everyone. He walked in love towards everyone. That was his attitude, but he did not walk in love with everyone. He didn't even walk with everyone. And you know, he is love because he's God and God is love. But God did not walk with everyone when he walked the earth in human form. So if the Son of God did not walk with everyone, and you are his follower, that implies that you will not be able to walk with everyone either. Sounds logical, right? You follow the Son of God, you follow Christ. That means that you should have the same effect. You can't walk with everyone. Look at what I'm saying here. There were times Christ even removed some of his close disciples. And he revealed certain things only to certain disciples who were able to handle it. Like the transfiguration. Christ knows how to discern. And you who follow Christ ought to be able to do the same. Not because you are so clever, but because you operate in his spirit. I'm telling you, you can't walk with everyone. And the evidence is Christ did not walk with everyone. Christ did not walk with King Herod. He did not walk with Mary when he grew up. No, he didn't. Read the Gospels. He did not walk with his relatives. He did not walk with the scribes and Pharisees, who were the political and religious elite in that region. He did not walk with the other religious authorities. He did not walk with all the people that followed him, because Christ had many people following him around, but he did not walk with them. There were times he even sent them away. I'm telling you, Christ did not walk with everyone. He was not a loner. He was not antisocial. Absolutely not. But he knew how to be real. And that's the thing with a lot of folks that claim to follow Christ. They're not real. Christ didn't walk with everyone. Because he knew very well, and he still knows, that some people don't want to let go. Some people will keep holding on. It's all about their self-validation. And those that keep holding on, no matter what, they are endangering themselves. They are accursing themselves. And you cannot walk with accursed people and operate in the blessing at the same time. No, because those accursed people will have an accursed effect on you, and they will contaminate the blessings you're operating in. Okay, apart from Christ, let's go to the world now. You have a manager at a bank. Okay? When he was younger, he used to smoke weed every day with some buddies. And those buddies, they used to break into houses and do all of those things. Some of those buddies are still the same. So they may have jobs now, but they're still hanging on the streets and all of that. Now, this manager that works at the bank, he has no contact with those people anymore. He doesn't even consider them friends. He doesn't hate them. He doesn't have anything against them, but he realizes he is a manager at the bank. His reputation will also affect the bank. If people would know that the manager of that bank is hanging around street thugs and hardened criminals, what's going to happen? The bank will be affected in a negative way. And not only that, he will lose his job, and he probably won't be able to work in a financial institution anymore. Because he will be put on a blacklist. So that manager at the bank knows very well he cannot walk with everyone. Some people, even though he has nothing against them personally, he cannot afford to walk with them. Or let's say you have Susie. Susie just married and she lives with her family-in-law. Susie used to have certain female friends from college. She has no contact with them anymore because those female friends, even though they also have their partners now, they're all into gossiping and all into, like this, all in bringing up memories of things that happened in the past. And Susie does not want her family-in-law to know about her past, about the crazy stuff she used to do during college, getting drunk and all of those stuff. Why? Because it would affect how her family-in-law would treat her. And she wants her family-in-law to treat her well. So, to make her marriage work, she needs to be on good terms with her family-in-law. Because the relationships with her family-in-law, with the members of family-in-law, will affect her marriage also. So she's practical that she realizes she can't walk with those friends anymore. Or another parable. You have a company that's quite successful. They have multiple shops in over 20 countries. So they're a multinational and they hire professionals. They also provide internships and they offer traineeships also. So Stephen, who just finished his master's degree, he still has his part-time job, but he wants to switch to another job. And he considered applying for this multinational. So he and his fiancée are talking about the issue of working at this multinational. Then Stephen goes to one of his friends and he talks about it also to ask for his honest opinion, because his friend has experience working for multinationals. He has worked for 3 already in a period of 6 years. And this friend looks at this multinational, he goes to the history, he uses Wikipedia, but he also uses newspapers to find out how this multinational came into being. Because this friend, let's call him Frank, Frank knew very well that multinationals often hide dirty secrets. So Frank went through the files, he did his research, but then he figured out that this multinational receives a lot of funding from controversial groups. Groups associated with racism, groups associated with terrorist activities. And then Frank was thinking, this doesn't add up. And Frank shared this knowledge with Stephen. And Stephen thought that's quite weird indeed. And Stephen began to think, hold on a minute. If groups that are associated with terrorists, or let me say if terrorist groups are interested in financing you, then something doesn't add up. And Stephen even began to think, hold on a minute, how can it be that this multinational is receiving funds from terrorists, yet they have a good reputation in almost 20 countries? Well, they have in 20 countries. They also have offices in other places. And Stephen began to think, hold on a minute, this is a very dirty case. So Stephen, at the last moment, decided he's not going to apply for that multinational. He looked for another job somewhere else. And you know what? Stephen did the right thing. Because when terrorist groups or criminal groups invest in you, they do it out of their own interest. There's some benefit for them in it. And such groups, they operate under paranormal charms. So wherever they are, they need to promote the negative. So when such groups promote you, you know you're in trouble. So the people that work at this multinational, they have no idea, because most of them didn't even research the background information about the organization they're working for. They have no idea that they're working at an organization that covers up terror and crime. They're not even aware of it. So they're involved in this cover-up without even noticing it. But nevertheless, it still affects them. So, what is the best thing for you to do if you find yourself in such a situation? You keep doing your job, You're not going to cause any drama or conflict at the workplace, but meanwhile, you keep looking for another job. And once you have another job and the contract is signed, you can start working somewhere else, you leave. Why? Because it's not safe to be associated with a cover-up of things like that, of that kind. But this is just a parable, okay? And in this parable, just like the other parables I gave in this video, I want to point out to you that it's not wise to walk with everyone. Because not everyone is safe to walk with. You have people that need help, need deliverance. They need some distance so they can recover. But then you also have those you need to be delivered from. This video is not meant as instruction for what to do with difficulties in your life. This video is just to inform you. Christ himself, who knows everything, who is God Almighty in the flesh, he himself did not walk with everyone. Even before he incarnated on the earth, he did not fellowship with everyone. First of all, God does not fellowship with Satan. He does not fellowship with the fallen angels. He does not fellowship with the Nephilim spirits. He doesn't. He does not fellowship with darkness. He does not fellowship with the reprobate. No, he doesn't. And when he walked the earth, he demonstrated this. He was consistent in his walk. And those that follow Christ ought to be consistent also. I'm not talking consistent in a cultural sense, like they tell you you're a Christian, so you ought to go to church every Sunday. So now, to be consistent in this cultural expectation, you do that. Many of those cultural expectations you need to be delivered from to begin with. I'm talking about consistently agreeing with Christ. Because worldly people, I'm not talking about all worldly people here, but worldly people are practical. They do the thing Christ did. That is, evaluating whom they're walking with. And there are worldly people who are quite smart in this. They don't walk with everyone, and that's why some of them live in impoverished neighborhoods, they live in ghettos, but they're never in trouble. Why? Because they evaluate who are around them. Understand the following also. Some people do not want to wake up. Some people want the relief state. They don't want to see their relatives and people around them for who they really are. Now, not all relatives are bad, okay? Absolutely not. But just because one's a relative does not imply that they deserve to have a place in your life. You need to evaluate and see people for what they are. But there are people that just don't want to do this. Such people, sooner or later, they'll endanger you. Why? Because they don't seek for safety. They're seeking for relief. And they will get relief. But relief does not imply that the danger is gone. So such people, they have danger coming after them. And the Holy Spirit will remove such people from you, believer. So, accept God's sovereignty when he removes people from you. He does not remove people from you because he's jealous, nor because he has some narcissistic insecurity that he wants to compensate by having your attention. Christ doesn't need anyone. He doesn't need any attention at all. When Christ in his sovereignty decides to remove certain people from you, it is because he sees what's coming after them. And what's coming after them is ugly, is dangerous, and he wants you free from what's coming after them. Because he knows they will not go for safety. Christ wants you to be safe, to worship him. That being said, agree with Christ and be at peace.